So you just downloaded FL Studio and you're trying to learn how to use the program. Well, first of all, welcome to the gang. But second of all, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use the basics of FL Studio, how to work around the program, and let's get right into it. Alright, so when you first load up FL Studio, you're going to have this channel rack that has the kick, clap, the hi-hat, and the snare. And these are all just stock sounds from FL Studio. And if you have your own drum kits, then what you're going to want to do is have them in a specific folder. And then if you don't find them right here, what you're going to want to do is go to Options, File Settings, and then right here, if you don't see it right here, you'll just add a new folder. And then you're going to want to select the one that has your drum kit in it. Press accept, exit out of this. You might have to restart the program again, but then when you load it up again, it'll have this loaded up right here, and you'll have whatever drum kit sounds you have ready. So next thing is before you even start making a beat, what you want to do is go to your master channel, and you're gonna have Fruity Limiter already set up for you right here, and you can keep that on if you want, but you know, most of us don't really use it because it just kind of compresses the sound too much. So if you want your drums to knock the way industry producers have them, you're gonna want to remove this and make sure you put on the soft clipper. So this will allow it for your drums to still hit hard, but you won't be clipping the whole audio. So after that's already set up, you can go back over here. You can delete all these right here. Alright, so we're gonna switch out all these sounds right here, and I'm gonna just use my drum kit. And if you guys want my drum kit, it's free, so all you gotta do is just DM me and let me know you want it. It's called the Control Drum Kit, so just let me know that and I'll send it over. So let's go right here. Boom. We're gonna switch out all these sounds right here. Alright, so now that you got all your sounds selected right here, you can go with the drums first if you would like, but what I like to do is I like to start with the melody first. And then another thing you can do too, if you don't want to drag this over, you can actually just right click right here, open a new channel, and then it'll pop it up right here. And then also, so we're going to take all these off the mixer, so I'll take these all off right here. Alright, so let's say you're going to start the beat with the melody first. So what you're going to want to do is right click right here, and you can open up all these plugins like this. I'll give you this layout like this, but if you don't want to do that, right click to exit out of that, and then you can just actually just click on this one and it'll pop them all up like this. It's a bit easier to just have it like this, quicker to select the plugin, but we're going to use Flex because it's a stock plugin, and then you just make a simple melody, whatever you want to do. So we'll just lay out some chords just to kind of have it set. Alright, so I just laid 2 chords down just to get a rough idea, and then you would go back over here, so exit out of the piano roll right here, and then you'll move this one to channel 1, and then if you have it on the bottom over here, the way you can move it back up to the top is you just hold Alt, and then with the top arrow go up, and it'll move it all the way to the top. And just like that, you can kind of work your way down, kind of fill out the rest of the drums. And then let's see what's next. So for the actual melody, when you're making it, if you don't know music theory that well and you're just kind of trying to figure out how to lay out the chords, what you can do is actually just click down on here, and you can go to whatever key you want to be in. So you go to View, Scale Highlighting, and then you can click whatever root note you want to start in. So for this one, I just use C sharp. So you click that, and then you can actually click on whatever scale you want to be in. So for this one, I did minor scale, and just like that, so you can see all the white keys. That shows you that you're in scale, and then you just build off the chords like that. And then to change the velocity, what you can do is select all these right here, and you can bring this down, and it'll bring all of them down together. Or you can select individually, and you can individually change the velocity on them. And then if you want to randomize the whole thing, just Control A and then Alt R, and that's going to randomize all the notes, the velocity on the notes. And then with this level right here, you can change how much velocity, how much of the level you want to change, and then you can kind of, you know, pan it if you want to do that. But we'll just kind of slightly change the velocity just like that. And then if you want to zoom out of the whole piano roll up here, you can actually make it smaller. So if you're going to be doing playing notes in a wider scale, you can select them easier like this, and just to view the piano roll easier. Same thing if you want to zoom in like that. And then with the trackpad, you can zoom in and out just like that. So if you want to strum the notes, you can Control A and then Alt S, and that's actually going to strum them to make it feel a little more natural. And then with the strength, that will determine how much of a strum you want on all the notes. So we'll do about this range is typically fine to make it feel natural. So just like that, you can see how it kind of offsets them a little bit, and then you can just individually kind of move them around. If you want to move them around by more precisely, what you can do is just be on whatever note you want. So select it and then Alt, you hold Alt, and it'll actually move it more precise so you can get it right where you want it. So just like that. Oh, that's too much. So just like that. And then over here you can see that the notes actually went over here. So you can just go to this cut knob and then hold Shift, and then that will cut all of them together. So once you release, you'll highlight them and then just press delete, and just like that. So that way it doesn't bleed over, and it'll just cut right over. Just like that. Alright, so if you want to start adding some effects to the melody over here on the mixer, click on this right here, and you're going to have a whole bunch of just stock plugins right here to mix the vocals or plugin or whatever it is you're using. So I typically like to use the heavier effects first, and then I'll like EQ everything at the end. So if I'm going to add like reverb, I'll do it first. And then with this, you can kind of just mess around with it, kind of see what everything does. I typically only use the decay knob and like the wet knob, sometimes the size of it, but we're just going to add a bit of reverb to it. So just like that. And then sometimes I'll raise the wet knob to about 50 or something, and then I'll come over here, and then this knob also controls the kind of the amount of effects you have on it. So all the way it'll be the whole reverb is playing right now, and then we can gradually bring it down. So I'll bring this down to about like 30% or something like that, and then we can go to the next one and we can add some EQ on this. So I like to use EQ2. EQ1, it just kind of gives you just the regular knob layout of it, so you don't kind of visually get to see it. So I'll delete that and then actually select EQ2, and then with this you can actually see the actual waveform, so it's a lot easier to, you know, EQ your melody and stuff like that. So we're going to cut out all this low end. I'll cut out about this range, 150-ish. Kind of, you don't want to cut out too much because then it's going to have just, it's not going to have enough of the low end in there. So you want to actually leave a little bit in there. We just want to cut out this range so that it doesn't mix with the bass or the 808. But you probably already know that. So once that's done, you kind of go back over here and start adding your drums. You can click them in right here. So this is the clap right here I have. So you can actually just click it in right here. And then you kind of just go over and then just click them all in like that. But it's kind of hard to see where it's supposed to go like that. So I'll go to the piano roll right here, and then you might be confused on which one to actually like put the clap on. So it's always supposed to go on just like the middle note. So the middle note is C. So if you don't know which one that would be, you can just click right here on the actual channel rack, and it will lay it out on the piano roll for you. So you can see right here is C, and then you're just gonna want to follow that. So put the rest of the claps in there. Just like that. You can change the velocity, kind of bring it up a bit if it's too quiet. And then you can add all the drum sounds to the mixer after or before. It's up to you. I like to add them before. That way I kind of see like what level I'm at, making sure I'm not clipping too much on a certain sound or something like that. So, you know, I'll bring this back up. So Alt and then press the arrow key up, so we can put this on mixer, the channel rack 2, just like that. And then, you know, add the rest of the sounds in there. So I'm gonna add the rest of the drum sounds, and then I'll show you the next part. Alright, so here's another tip with the 808. So I have a simple pattern laid out right here, and if you play it out and you hear that they're actually clashing, so let me play it out real quick. So you can hear how they start clashing with each other the closer they are. So to avoid that, what you're going to want to do is go back over here to your channel rack, select the actual 808, and then it'll be right here on this one, but you're going to click on this little tool right here, and then you just want to cut this. And what that's gonna do is gonna cut it before it plays to the next note, so it doesn't bleed into the next note. So as you can see, it doesn't cut, it doesn't blend in right there. So just to get rid of that clashing, you don't want that when you're making your beats and stuff. So other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's like the basics of FL Studio. You know, once you're ready to export, you just go over here to the file. You can export it right here as a wave, an MP3. You can, and once you click on here, you're just going to save it, and then you can actually select if you want the track outs in there. So it'll show, you'll see the option on there. All right, so here's another thing I forgot to mention. When you're putting out the sounds onto the mixer, you can actually select onto the mixer right here and just right click and rename all of the sounds that you're using. That way you don't get mixed up with everything that's playing. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the basics of it. It's just a real simple tutorial to kind of get your feet in the water and get used to using the program. But I'll make a more advanced tutorial in the future, and just comment below what you guys would like to learn in that more advanced tutorial. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.